How did Alexander the Great die? It's a question that has puzzled historians for centuries. The young Macedonian king conquered most of the known world, but how exactly did he die? There are many theories, but no one knows for sure. Hi, it's me. Number 10, the king of the known world. At the time of his death, Alexander the Great was just 32 years old. He had built an empire stretching from Greece to India. But in 323 BC, after a long military campaign, he fell ill and died 10 days later. His empire would soon be divided amongst his many generals, and nobody could come up with a good theory as to why such a young and seemingly healthy man could die so quickly. Number 9, the poison theory. Some historians believe that Alexander was poisoned by his wife, Roxana. She was only 18 when she married Alexander, but the two had a tumultuous relationship. In fact, according to some accounts, Alexander wanted to divorce her before he died. It's possible that Roxana took matters into her own hands, perhaps with a little help from her father, King Oxyartes. However, there is no real evidence to support this theory. And to be fair, it is a bit of a stretch to think that a young and rather naive princess could orchestrate the poisoning of a king, especially since she would have been just 19 at the time of his death. Number 8, malaria. A more plausible explanation for Alexander's sudden illness is that he contracted malaria. This was a common ailment in the ancient world, and the symptoms could come on very suddenly and be deadly within 10 days. It's also possible that Alexander had been suffering from malaria for years without realizing it, and the stress of his campaigns finally caused the disease to overwhelm him. Number 7, typhoid fever. Another contender for Alexander's mysterious illness is typhoid fever. This bacterial infection can cause a high fever, weakness, abdominal pain, and bloody diarrhea. It's spread through contaminated food and water, and it was likely widespread in ancient cities, where sanitation was often lacking. According to some sources, Alexander was already feeling unwell when he arrived in Babylon, and his condition rapidly deteriorated after drinking some local wine. This could have been a case of alcohol poisoning, but it's more likely that the wine simply contained traces of the bacteria that caused typhoid fever. 6. The arrow wound. One of Alexander's biographers claimed that the king was wounded by an arrow in the leg during the siege of Tyre. The wound turned gangrenous and may have led to his death. However, other historians have pointed out that this account is not very reliable. Gangrene usually takes months to set in, and there is no evidence that Alexander's wound was anything more than a minor injury. Alexander's death is a mystery that has fascinated historians for centuries. There are many theories about what killed him, but we may never know for sure. Was it poison, malaria, typhoid fever, or something else entirely?